Hey everybody, welcome back. This week, I've got another upcycle for ya. This week, the video is all about upcycling the chairs that match our kitchen table upcycle. So, a couple weeks ago, I showed you how Christian and I upcycled our kitchen table. This table here, which we turned into this table here. Using that color scheme as inspiration, I did a similar style upcycle to the chairs. So as I may have mentioned, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the last video or not, but that little cute, adorable acrylic drawer pull totally inspired me to change out the chair spindles for acrylic rods. So the plan for this upcycle was to sand everything down, stain the seat, chalk paint the back of the chair and the legs of the chair, and then replace the wooden spindles with some acrylic rods, which I found on Etsy. And let me just tell you, it turned out freaking great, okay? The plan had some changes along the way. It wasn't perfect, but the chairs did come out perfect, if I may say myself. So let's get into the upcycle. First things first, how all of these projects start. I did some sanding. So I decided to hand sand the legs and the backs of the chairs because I knew I was just going to chalk paint those and it doesn't require a whole lot of sanding, just enough to scuff up the legs for the chalk paint to adhere to them. So I did that, and let me just tell you, sanding is not the most exciting thing in the world. And there were 4 chairs, so yeah, it took me a little bit of a long time to hand sand all of those parts. Then for the seats of the chairs, because I wanted to stain them, I knew I had to use the power sander to get all the way down to the natural naked wood. In order to do so, I sanded just straight across the flat part, but I did go ahead and hand sand the curved part of the seat so that I didn't misshape the chair in any way. Not that I think I was sanding that much, but you know, it's possible because I do use a very low grit sandpaper. I sanded pretty much everything at 60 grit, 60 to 80 grit. I'm not a professional sander. I don't have a whole huge variation to go all the way up to like 220, 50, whatever, okay? I have 60, 80, and like one piece of 150. So I made do with what I had. And I just was able to get it down to that natural naked wood. So I tried to save one chair to show you how I had been taking the backs off without destroying them. And I happened to choose the one chair to save for last that had the most glue keeping the back in. So I flipped it upside down to hammer out the back from underneath the chair. And, well, I had some bad luck and I broke both sides of the chair. Luckily, I guess, if there's any luck in this situation, it broke very clean, so I'm gonna be able to glue it back together. Nevertheless, it's an unfortunate situation, and now I'll have to glue it and figure out that. But, so much for showing you how I take it apart nicely. Now that everything was sanded, it was time to go ahead and start painting or staining or doing something. So I decided to start with chalk painting, and I went ahead, I chalk painted the legs and I chalk painted the backs of the chairs. This did take a few coats. I used that same bare chalk paint in the color whites that we've been using for the last couple upcycling projects, and the same color, obviously, that matched the kitchen table upcycle for obvious reasons. Like I said, it did take a few layers. I did use a detail little tiny brush in certain spots just for my own satisfaction that the paint streaks went in the right directions. I don't know. That's a dumb fact to add in there. But I did do that. And then with everything chalk painted, I decided to go ahead and stain these seats. Like I said, we're matching that kitchen table upcycle that I did a couple weeks ago, months ago, I don't know, a while ago. So we used that Varathane stain in the color Vintage Aqua. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous color. I just want to stain everything this color. It came out so pretty. Went on super easy. I just did one layer, just like the table, and then I went back and forth on what to use to seal the chair seats, considering I didn't think they needed the same kind of finish that was on the table, and I don't know, I was just thinking it should be different for some reason, but because, you know, quarantine life, I decided to just use the same top coat that I had, which was the Varathane whatever that I used in the table upcycle. And I just did one layer. I should have done two, but by this time I was so excited to see how the finished product was gonna come out that I didn't want to do a second layer. Plus I had already thrown away my my last foam brush that I was using. So in the midst of sanding and whatever, I did receive the acrylic rods in the mail that I ordered on Etsy, and I will play that video now. Okay, I just received the acrylic rods that are supposed to go where the wooden spindles were. So I'm super excited. Let's see what they look like. I ordered these off of a nice woman on Etsy who cuts and sells acrylic rods. Ooh, look at this. So cute. Okay. Ooh, they're even in a sealed bag. Wow. That's fancy. So satisfying. Look at that. Okay, I'll have to measure these and see if these are the right length. But, okay, I'm excited. Let's go find out if these are the right length. My initial plan for the project, when I discovered that I wanted to use the acrylic rods, I took a look at the chairs, and these holes here are a 1/2 inch diameter, which presented an issue because these holes here are a 1/4 inch diameter. And so I needed to find something that would, you know, like an adapter kind of deal. And my idea was these little copper fittings. These are a 1/2 inch to a 1/4 inch copper reducer. So the idea is this fits in here, and it's a little bit of a big fit, but I figured that I would be able to like use glue or something to like shove this in. And then I was gonna spray paint these like a silver chrome to match the drawer pull. And this is these are a 1/2 inch diameter, so they're gonna perfectly fit in the bottom hole. Then up here, we've got the 1/4 inch diameter, which is going to fit in the top hole. And this is the idea, okay? So, but as it turned out, the top holes on the chair backs were actually too small for the copper reducer. So I ended up going in with a drill bit and widening the holes. Well, as it would turn out, by the time I got finished widening the holes for the copper reducers, the acrylic rods actually fit quite nicely in there, nice and snug, better than they fit into the copper reducer. So we decided to just go ahead and shove them up into the top holes, and then Because of that fact, the measurement, that 15" and 3/4, turned out to be a little bit too short. So what you don't see in this video is us shoving paper inside the holes on the bottom where the seats are to take up some of that room to make up for how short the acrylic rods were. And then it did take a little bit of hammering to get the backs of the chairs to fit back into the seats, and you can see our makeshift rubber mallet because all I had was a regular hammer and I was worried about damaging the tops of the chairs, so I wrapped my hammer in a bunch of towels to try to make it softer, which worked, let the record show. Without further ado, here is the finished product of a chair. I just absolutely love what the acrylic rods do for the chair. I think it just makes it so much more modern, so sleek. Wooden spindles are out, acrylic spindles are in. One reason to switch out the spindles was actually because some of them were cracked, and so you can see here that I had to do some drilling to get the extra little piece of spindle out of the bottom, the seat portion of the chair. So any excuse to use something cool that I've never used before, and I'll take it. All together, you have this gorgeous kitchen table and chair set, and I'm just so proud of it. And thank you to Nathan once again for providing this project. It was so fun, the biggest project I've done yet. Thank you to Christian once again for your help on my upcycling ventures. I really appreciate it. Moving on to the shout out segment of the video, I just want to give a huge shout out to my aunts. Hi, I love you and I miss you. And I hope you're doing great. Next video, what to expect? I don't know. I was thinking, I've got a few ideas. I promised you that I would show you and explain to you my collage wall thing that I have that you may have seen in my unicorn house tour video. Hopefully you guys liked that video. I know it was weird. We took that in one take. Let me just say that. That's how weird it was. But I owe you an explanation for the things that are on that wall. I also kind of want to show you my upcycling collection. I don't have a lot of furniture or anything like that, but I do have a lot of tools, materials, and things that would be fun to show you / organize. Or I was thinking maybe some silly how-to videos, how to stain, how to top coat, how to, anyways, I don't know, let me know down in the comments below what you like to see from me for the whole 2 people that comment on these videos, and like and subscribe if you feel like it. Thanks for watching. Bye. Our kitchen table chairs. Kitchen table chairs. The chair's kind of yellow from the microfiber towel. Also, sorry if I looked ugly this entire video. We chopped my hair off. I feel free. It doesn't get tangled when I go to sleep at night. So, there's that. Thanks everybody for watching. That's the tune I always use. Thanks everybody for watching.